Good morning, Columbia. Thank you for waking up with us. I am Curtis Wilson.
Tyler Ryan, Monday, 5:01. What a game last night.
Oh boy, was it, man.
You know, I don't have a reference point of, like, you know, he's picking teams and who's going to win. I know that USC is pretty good. Mm-hmm. You don't make it to the finals without being really good.
Right.
I was kind of shocked at the difference in score. I didn't think it was going to be quite that. I was really surprised.
Yeah, USC was out of their game pretty much against UConn. And, once you start get 6 to 10 points, behind, it starts to mess with your psyche a little bit.
Sure, of course.
You know what I mean? But, USC has been able to battle back like in a second half team, but not with UConn, though.
Yeah.
You can't get down in a deficit and think that you're going to be able to fight back. You got to stay in this fight from beginning to end.
UConn this is a 12th championship, is
12th
that
for them? Yeah.
Is that what I heard? Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to hear it, but I mean, look, you made it to number 2. You're no slouch in basketball. You just didn't take home the gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, Ricky Bobby said there can't be 2 number 1s because that'd be 11.
Okay.
If you're not first, you're last. Yeah. Go on and on and on. But Darlington, big race over the weekend as well. So.
How was that?
I watched a few minutes of it. I'm not a humongous race fan. You were here. I got a chance to catch up with Jeff Hammond. I actually hung out with him Friday afternoon. Great guy. We talked racing,
okay.
But it was cool. Big weekend out in the Lady in Black. So.
Right. Get the old remote control, if you can find it, to celebrate National Public Television Day. On this day in 1927, the company, AT&T, transmitted the first successful long-distance public broadcast of television. It was an image of Herbert Hoover, Secretary of Commerce, and was transmitted from Washington, D.C. to New York City. We've come a long way, or still have a ways to go, depending on who you ask. We've gotten hundreds of TV shows since then. GMC, Good Morning Crew. What's your favorite show? What say you, Charlie? You have a favorite show on TV? No, nothing new. What about you there, Useless Trivia?
Watching Breaking Bad again.
Breaking Bad, okay. What about you there, Mr. Canelio? Simpsons, earlier seasons, got you. Of course, Tyler, what you got?
I mean, Family Guy is a go-to favorite, but there's a lot of good shows through the years.
Got
like some of the classics, man. Gunsmoke and All in the Family, The Jeffersons, all those great shows through the years.
Yeah. 2.5 Men and Andy Griffith.
Yeah, I can get behind those. Are solid choices.
Yeah. Solid
choices. All right.
But the one I really love watching is Good Morning Columbia.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, Television Day. But for television, we would be, doing something else.
Yeah. In honor of Public Television Day, which of these sitcoms have won the most Emmys? Seinfeld, Simpsons, Family Guy, or MASH?
I forgot about MASH.
It's A or B, I'm thinking.
I'm thinking A or D?
MASH too, though, Christmas.
That's what I'm thinking. We're looking at Emmys. I don't know. See, MASH was great until Alan Alda became the executive producer, and then he started getting preachy. It was really funny the first few seasons, and then it was always like this hidden, message. There's a QR code, by the way, up there. Grab your phone and hit that. I'm going to go with Seinfeld.
Seinfeld?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Seinfeld.
Okay.
I mean, they're all quality shows.
They are. I never really watched Family Guy, so I can't say that one. But the other three, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're going to find out in just a little bit. We need to win some Emmys. GMC needs to win some Emmys. We produce Emmy award-winning television every morning. We sit next to each other. It's gold. Gold, I tell you, gold.
I agree.
All right, today is beer day. Why not stay inside maybe and drink a cold beer? Beer is one of the oldest beverages, by the way, with evidence of it dating back to 5000 BC in ancient Egypt. By the way, women were the primary brewers back then. There's even a Sumerian goddess known as the Mistress of Brewing. Her name is Ninkasi. Now, beer is mostly water, about 90% water, but then there are hops, malt, which is there for color. The yeast enriches it and gives it vitamin D, so it's almost like a health drink. And then the foam, of course, enhances the flavor as well. And even though it was illegal in Iceland to drink beer until 1989, humans still managed to consume around 50 billion gallons of that golden goodness every year. Budweiser is still the king of beer, by the way, still on top. They sell the most. Anheuser-Busch, I suppose, but Budweiser is still the top. But 50 billion gallons of beer, Curtis.
It's a lot of beer.
Crazy. I'm just not a beer drinker, you know. It's the carbonation. I don't drink a lot of it, but it's a thing. Those guys who do craft beer spend a lot of time. They put a lot of sweat equity into it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know you do not imbibe, my friend, but beer it is.
All right, there
World
it is.
Beer Day. Enjoy. Let's do it. Let's do
Yeah.
it. All right. So, of course, things are, pricey as it is with all the inflation we had over the last few years. Of course, uncertainty over the next few months as to where things are going to go. Some ways to micro habits to maybe make the most out of anything you need to buy. Opt for store brands.
Okay.
Instead of Tide, you get the great value or whatever. A lot of times those companies are the same
Get the
ones.
off-brands, basically.
Yeah, the off brands. Say off brands, but like the store brands.
So
like,
instead of washing it once, you'll wash it 2 to 3, get all the stains out.
A lot of times it's the same company. They
Same
just put
brands,
different tags. Yeah. Pause before purchasing. If you want to buy something, instead of if it's not non-essential, give it 24 hours. Do you still really want it in 24 hours? Because I fall victim to it all the time, dude. I know you don't do Amazon, but I do. I'd be like, I need this. It's coming. I got it. Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Limit social media use. I don't know. Because you get more exposure to advertisements.
Oh.
So you start saying, yes, I really need that. Use cash for discretionary spending, and review subscriptions regularly. And again, I'm really bad. I probably have $100 a month that $5.99 here for this, $6.99 for that.
I think it's just a little bit, that little adds up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So just a few ideas on how to maybe save a few extra bucks around. But I buy store brands all the time, and they're as good as anything.
Gotcha.
But
Good
I'm
deal.
also cheap. But that's beside the point.
Well, we know that around here. He never treats breakfast. Whew.
Jeez Louise. Well, this week, Friday morning. Oh, you won't be here. Oh, that's a shame. Here's the forecast.
Thank you. Here's your trivia. Which of these sitcoms have won the most Emmys? It's The Simpsons with 37, by the way.
All right.
QR code, guess we'll figure that out. How many of you had it right with that?
Yeah. Didn't get it.
Friday, I forgot to mention Richland 1 did the Special Olympics with about most of the schools in the area. So it was over 100 and something Special Olympics athletes that were at the field over there. So big shouts to Richland 1 for doing that as they get set for the big Special Olympics that takes place over at Fort Jackson coming up soon too.
Yeah.
So it was good.
That's great stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely great stuff. They put their whole heart into that stuff, for sure.
No question.
My goodness.
For sure.
Love it.
For sure. You can now live in the world's skinniest skyscraper, but it's going to cost you a pretty penny. The penthouse is located in Manhattan's Steinway Tower, which is located on Billionaires Row, and it overlooks Central Park. Well, the 4-story home, or quadplex, features 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and 2 terraces. You'll also have a 360-degree view of the Big Apple, and it could all be yours for just a mere $110 million.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
$110 million for an apartment.
And you'll look all around New York City.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's the quadplex.
If I have $110 million, I'm going to go to Wyoming and buy a bunch of land, not deal with any human being. All right. I mean, I guess if you're going to have a view, might as well have a good one.
Yeah.
But what makes it skinny? I mean, I guess I'd be scared if it was a skinny skyscraper, Gets a little windy, I could feel the house rocking a little bit. I'm not here for that.
Well, hopefully they have some protocol in place for stuff like that.
I would hope so. Like, get the heck out.
Yeah. What state has the lowest cost of living? Arkansas, West Virginia, Mississippi, the Dakotas.
I think it's West Virginia, isn't it?
I would say that one, yeah. They're always at the bottom.
Yeah. I think it's West Virginia. So I'm going to go with it.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think? There's a QR code in your screen. With any luck, you can click on it, take a swing at that. I mean, Arkansas probably too, but yeah, all right, I'm going to go with it. I'm doing it. West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain.
Did they say Blue Ridge in that song?
Yeah.
You sure?
Take me home, country road to the place I belong, West Virginia. My mama, take me home, my country road.
Okay.
I didn't say Blue Ridge in that particular verse.
No, you didn't. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's in there.
You did the remix.
Yes, the TR remix. I'm telling you, Blue Ridge Mountain's in there.
Okay.
I'll find it. I'll make it my mission in the next 5 minutes to have it for you. QR code's on your screen. Go ahead and hit that. Join the club. Text him the Blue Ridge Mountain line and Take Me Home Country Road, a John Denver classic. All right, so to squash the great debate as to whether the phrase Blue Ridge Mountains is in John Denver's Country Road.
That was a great debate.
Yes, it was a rigorous debate.
Oh. Okay.
Full of sweat, fire, brimstone, and whatnot. To the second line. Almost Heaven, West Virginia. Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River.
Okay.
Second line. There we go. I knew that Blue Ridge Mountain was in there.
You went through all that.
I did.
Okay.
Listen, do not think I'll waste a moment for dramatics. Just saying, if there's an opportunity, I'm going to take it. And in good comedy, timing is everything. Let's go to weather.
Welcome to another edition of Only in Florida. This time featuring one boat captain ruining his whole career over boat rage. That's right. Brock Horner, aka best charter captain you'll ever meet, lost it all after confronting and boarding 22-year-old Gage Towell's boat. Well, the video you see here leads to Horner's downfall, has millions of viewers across several platforms, including YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Horner's lawyer made a statement saying Brock apologized to Gage, his family, and to those who were frightened or upset by what they saw.
Yeah, this video is pretty remarkable. He's facing now burglary charges, assault, aggravated assault, I think, as well.
So basically what, he jumps onto this other boat and goes?
Yeah, they get into a, well, it's not even, he's harassing this kid who's, I don't know, 17, 8, whatever he is. There was apparently an incident earlier, and Brad came flying through one of the bridges. And the kid said, hey, you're supposed to slow down. He said, I don't have to do that. Well, you actually do. It's actually law that you do slow down when you go through bridges and things like that. You have to go to an awake zone speed, and that's just the way that is. So, I don't know. What I've read, and this is just what I've seen being reported, this guy's got several other charges, so I find it hard to believe he has an active captain's license as it is, because you have to, every 5 years, you have to get vetted by the Coast Guard, and it's a pretty deep background check.
So he was acting like Border Patrol or something on his own or something to that effect?
Yeah, what's that?
He was acting like a cop, Border Patrol.
I guess. I mean, he lost it. He starts yelling at the kid. The kid's saying, sir, please don't do this. And he jumps on his boat, on the kid's boat, and starts threatening him. And it's crazy. You jump, that's why it's burglary. He had no business being on that boat. He's lucky that it was a kid. If he jumped on my boat, there would be a very, very different outcome. Okay. Very different outcome, I can promise you that. Gotcha. But a frightening moment out there for sure. But yeah, if he had his license, in fact, I'm sure the Coast Guard is going to take exception with it at this point. Okay. So, interesting case, but it has certainly it has blown up every time I turn the computer on. I see that video. So crazy. People, can't we just control ourselves? Yeah. Decorum and comportment.
So we asked you, what state had the lowest cost of living?
Well, the answer is Mississippi. A single person needs about $42,000 to live in Mississippi. A family of 4, around 87 G's. South Carolina is 26th on the QR codes. 50% of us, including me, said West Virginia. Nobody selected Mississippi.
And rain starts what time?
Right about now-ish.
Yeah. We'll see you at the noon, 5, 6, and 11. We'll catch you circling around for tomorrow. Have a great day. Take care.